Bring the meeting of the Salem County Commissioners, our regular meeting for April 21st, to order. If we can stand for the invocation by our CFO Kelly, and I believe.
Gracious God, we ask for your blessing upon all gathered here tonight in our Salem County community. Give us unity of spirit and guide us to work as one in the decisions presented before us. We are thankful for all who continually and tirelessly work to eradicate COVID-19. Hear the special intentions that each of us hold in our hearts. We ask this in Jesus' name.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Be seated.
Adequate notice pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given of this meeting by forwarding notice to the South Jersey Times and Elmer Times Company, and by posting notice in the bulletin board of the Salem County Courthouse and the Fifth Street Office Complex, and by filing notice in the offices of the Salem County Clerk and the Clerk of the Board, all having been done at least 48 hours in advance.
Attendance roll call, please.
Director Benjamin Lauren.
Here.
Deputy Director Scott Bristol.
Here.
Commissioner Ed Ramsey.
Here.
Commissioner Gordon Osler.
Here.
Commissioner Lee Ware.
Present.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Commissioner, what's your pleasure with the minutes?
Director, I move we dispense from the reading of minutes from the April 21st meeting, and all minutes be received, approved, and recorded in the minutes book.
Second. I have a motion second. Any discussion? Scott, you want to abstain from that? I don't think there's any. All in favor, please raise your hand. Abstentions? One. Special recognition. National Day of Prayer. We have that. Okay, go back to Order Americans Month. I think that should be lead, but I think, Ellie, you're handling that? You're a legend, Lee.
It is my honor to recognize two people who accept this on Older Americans Month. I'll give you some whereases and then I'll go a little tidbits about these two young ladies. Whereas Salem County includes a growing number of older Americans who have built resilience and strength over their lives through successes and difficulties. And whereas the Salem County benefits when people of all ages, abilities, and backgrounds are included and encouraged to share their successes and stories of resilience. Whereas the Salem County recognizes our need to nurture ourselves, reinforce our strength, and continue to thrive in times of both joy and difficulty. And whereas Salem County can foster communities of strength by creating opportunities to share stories and learn from each other, engaging older adults through education, recreation, and service, encourage people of all ages to celebrate connections and resilience. Therefore, the Salem County Board of County Commissioners does hereby proclaim May 2021 to be Older Americans Month. We urge every resident to recognize older adults and the people who support them as essential contributors to the strength of our community. And we are honored tonight accepting a proclamation of two employees from the Salem County Health Department. This first young lady was here when I was here. We began 21 years ago. She was here when my brother started, 25 years before that. And that is Miss Carol Shoemaker. Been with us for 53 years, has no inclination of retiring, thank goodness. And Miss Judy McNeil, she started in the health department in 2006 after retiring, unbelievable, from Christiana Care and Pennsville visiting nurse. Both have worked non-stop through this pandemic in the office and on the road. They always keep our seniors' health in mind by social distancing. Count on Judy to refuse to stay in office and want to be on the front lines, whether helping to run vaccination clinics or one of our senior citizen events. They work alongside a much younger staff. often showing them up. At this time, I'd like you two ladies to come forward to accept this proclamation for Older Americans Month. Thank you. Keep up the good work and don't retire. Would you like to say anything?
I don't know what I can say. Said I'm still here and I've been blessed
Yes.
to be able to still be here and work for the county and try to help people out.
Well, we appreciate that. Mr. Lee?
Yeah, and I love my job. I love taking care of the senior citizens and adult protective services and case management and tuberculosis throughout the county. I just really love it.
Well, thank you very much. Keep up the good work and keep going.
Smile.
Try it.
Thank you.
It's also our pleasure to recognize Emergency Medical Services Week. That would be Scott.
I have a proclamation from the Board of Commissioners stating that May 16th through the 21st will be Emergency Medical Service Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service and the members of emergency medical service teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas access to the quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival or recovery rate for those who's experienced sudden illness or injuries. And emergency medical service has grown to fill a gap for providing important out-of-the-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and public awareness. And whereas the emergency medical service system consists of first responders, including emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-the-hospital medical care providers. Whereas the members of the emergency medical service teams, whether volunteers or career, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas, the last whereas, it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishment of the emergency medical staff provided by designing Emergency Medical Service Week. Therefore, the Salem County Board of Commissioners does hereby declare the week of May 16th to the 21st, 2021 as Emergency Medical Service Week with the theme of This is EMS Caring for Our Communities. Mr. Cummings coming up to accept this.
On behalf of the Sheriff's Department, I'd like to thank the Commissioners for this proclamation. And I'd like to introduce Debbie Ashcraft. She's in charge of the county EMS, and she'll say a few words.
I'd like to thank the Salem County Commissioners for this proclamation. I didn't realize it encompassed so many names and professions, and that's a lot of people, right? We've had a very trying year. We're coming out of it now. Everybody's doing well, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Look this way, go. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Scott.
It's always a great opportunity to recognize true heroes in our county. Alan and Debbie, thank you so much for what you and your team do. It's amazing, and we're blessed to have people like you in the county. Just our heroes. Thank you so much for what you do, especially in these trying times. We do have a presentation tonight. Paul, if you would come forward, and I know we restricted your time a little bit, but we'll be as fast as we can.
PowerPoints in your packet.
Well, I wanted to thank you all for having me back. I did prepare a PowerPoint for tonight. However, I was told that there was another meeting before this, and they weren't gonna let me set up any equipment here. And so, let's do PowerPoint for next month, if you'll have me back. I wanted to continue our conversation about the community development, what we can do to have happy, prosperous, and safe communities. What do we need to understand that to have these safe, prosperous, and happy communities? And I think you all agree that that's what we'd like to have in Salem County. So raise your hand if you're in favor. Okay, all right, well, I will proceed, and because that's what I'm working on. That's the proposals that I'm going to propose in the next few months. If you are supportive of this, we can make this happen in Salem County. And the PowerPoint that I was going to show you was to help give you confidence that it can happen right here in Salem County. I was going to show you what's happening in the community in Haiti. In this community in Haiti, it was begun by a preacher who began preaching out under a tree, and people began coming to hear his preaching, and they began building their homes around that area. The community began came up, and they began building their homes there. Church in Bridgeton began to sponsor them, to help them. There's this community now named Uganda and Haiti that is safe, happy, prosperous, neat, clean, beautiful, smells great as far as a country town can be. And so that's what I want to show you next month, or in the next meeting. That will be 2 weeks from now, if we can get the equipment set up. You're probably familiar with a program that's called Truth or Consequences. What we need to know, what all human beings need to know, is that there is truth and there are consequences. There is physical and moral truth that has been given to us by our Creator. And if we follow those laws, the laws of nature and moral laws, then things will go well for us. If we, for example, deny the law of gravity, things might not go so well for us. So, I want all of us to have very clear in our mind these laws, these principles for our communities that will be the foundation, the foundational truth for what builds the happy, prosperous, safe communities that we want. Now, God gave the people of Israel, after God brought the people out of slavery and out to the wilderness, He gave them 10 commandments to begin building their community, a foundation for their community. God also gave them a book explaining this foundation. And before I forget it, I want to recognize these people here for service above self. I just really applaud you. This is the kind of thing that we need in our community, a heart of service above self. And it has to come from a fearless heart, and I'll be explaining that next month. So God brought the people out of slavery to form a nation that would be an example to nations in the world. He gave them 10 commandments. He gave them a book explaining the application of those commandments. At the beginning of those commandments, it's not extensive, but it began explaining how these 10 commandments would be worked out in the community. And at the end of that book, Deuteronomy, chapter 28, which you have here in front of you, you should have this sheet here. You can look at that. God made promises to them. And He said, and it shall come to pass that you shall hearken diligently unto the voice refuse, hearken unto the voice of the Lord your God. And blessed will you be in the city, and blessed will you be in the field, and blessed will be the fruit of your body, your children. Blessed will be the fruit of your ground, things are going to grow for you. And the fruit of your cattle, the animals are going to be blessed, they're going to be protected from diseases. And your flocks, your sheep, blessed shall be the basket and the store, the things that you make, the crafts and all that kind of stuff. In fact, they were in the wilderness 40 years and their clothes did not wear out. You shall be blessed when you come in, when you go out, and he goes on with all the blessings that are going to be on their community, a nation now of about 2 million people. And also, later in the chapter, he also tells what will happen if they ignore these things, if they refuse to teach them to their children, refuse to teach them to their grandchildren, then bad things will happen. And so God goes over, this is going to happen, disease will come, things are not going to go well for you, your crops are not going to grow, all kinds of bad things happen when you don't follow God's moral law. Well, that's going to be beginning to be the foundation of our understanding of what we need to do here in Salem County. And I'm not asking you really to do anything. I'm not asking for programs. I'm not asking for grants. Let's see, I think I have a little thing to print out here. No, okay. But I think I told you the last meeting, we had 2 meetings almost in a row, 2 presentations at Bridgeton Rotary. The first presentation was by Cumberland County Youth Services Director, and he was so proud of the programs that he had got grants for. I've got $100,000 for this program with the enhancement of sports programs to help keep your kids out of trouble. And another $150,000 here, and so he had several $100,000 grants that he had that he thought would help the youth of Cumberland County. And when he finished, I was thinking, well, I should ask him a question, but I didn't get to ask him a question. But 2 weeks later, the prosecutor of Cumberland County, she's new, and she was very happy to tell us about the grants that she had received. $1.28 million for juvenile justice, juvenile help in Cumberland County. And so she was going on about the programs for the juveniles that were in difficulty, juveniles that were breaking the law and having problems. And so she was giving some ideas how we could reduce policing by having more psychiatrists and sociologists. And so I thought, well, I got up the nerve to really ask her what I should have asked the other presenter. If a young person professes to give their heart to Jesus, are they much less likely to be in trouble? Is there any statistics? Has anyone done a study on this? And she said, well, I'm a Christian, but I have no idea. She said, I have no idea if a child gives their heart to Jesus. She just said, I don't know. Well, that might be something that we would want to consider.
1 minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for, I was actually just wrapping up here, because that's what I want us to think about and have a foundation for what I'm going to be presenting at the next meeting on who can make happen here. We can make happy, prosperous, safe, clean communities right here. Thank you all. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your time. Do you want me to come back?
Yeah, we'll talk afterwards.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
Clerk, do we have a waiver?
Yes, we have one waiver of rules. Resolution authorizing lease agreement between Salem County and Salem Community College.
Can I have a motion to waive that rule for that resolution?
Second.
I have a motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. What's your pleasure with the correspondence and the general committee commission reports?
Director, I make a motion that the following correspondence to be accepted and filed on a part of the minutes.
Second.
I have a motion second, any discussion? Anything you'll find, and there's a lot of, and we adopted it last meeting about the first pension and taking a low portion, basically supports what we got through the different counties and municipalities. So all in favor, please raise your right hand. Opposed, carried unanimous. Bureau, what's your pleasure on the bills and claims?
Director, I make a motion that all bills and claims when properly signed and audited be paid and charged to the respective accounts.
Second.
I have a motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Resolutions, Administrative Committee.
A1, resolution acknowledging the business associate agreement form from AP Benefit Advisors LLC, including Assured Partners of New Jersey, for the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, the Health Information Technology for Economic and Clinical Health Act included in the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act of 2009. A2, resolution of the Board of County Commissioners authorizing a contract between the County of Salem and SODAP of New Jersey for providing juvenile probation enrichment programming with transportation for 2021. A3, resolution to rescind resolution 2021-074, approving a memorandum of understanding with Salem County Fair Association for barn improvements. A4, resolution rescinding resolution 2020-046, awarding a contract to Mid-Atlantic States Career Education Center for providing healthcare shuttles for senior residents age 60 and limited disabled residents and the general population in a designated rural area provided by the Salem County Office of Aging due to insufficient funds. A5, resolution appointing Salem County Economic Development Coordinator.
You've heard the reading of these 5 resolutions. With your pleasure.
I move that we accept the resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion?
Mr. Director, I just have one comment. A4, there is a typo, it should be rescinding resolution 2020-456.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll accept that change. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Carried unanimous. Economic Development, Public Works.
C1, resolution prohibiting normal traffic, Greenwich Street, County Road 540, Main Street, County Road 581, and Alloway Freesburg Road, County Road 540, and Alloway Township, Salem County. C2, resolution requesting an extension of time for our fiscal year 2018 local freight impact fund grant from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. And C3, resolution to approve Elmer Fire Department application for motorist solicitation pursuant to resolution number 98-115.
For the reading of these three resolutions, Commissioner, what's your pleasure?
I make a motion to accept the 3 resolutions, Mr. Director.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion? I do want to say, on the Public Works Committee, there are enough detours in the county yet. There are detours everywhere. So, roads are getting back in good shape, and appreciate your effort. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Yes, unanimous. We have Health, Human Services, Education.
D1, resolution amending the acceptance of the standard board resolution form from the New Jersey Department of Human Services for the area plan grant, and resolution authorizing the filing of an application to New Jersey Transit Corporation on behalf of Salem County Office on Aging and Disabilities for a grant under the Senior Citizens and Disabled Residents Transportation Assistance Act, SCDRTAP, Grant 2022.
For the reading of these 2 resolutions, what's your pleasure?
Mr. Director, I make a motion to approve these resolutions.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Public Safety.
E1, resolution to approve a lease agreement for the Woodstown National Guard Armory Annex for the County of Salem. E2, E2, resolution rescinding resolution number 2020-275, authorizing the trade-in of 3 Evinrude model E55 MRL-AF outboard motors for 1 9.9 EH 4-stroke outboard motor, including gas tank, fuel hoses, and boat retrofit kit. E3, resolution authorizing the trade-in of 3 Evinrude model E55 MRL-AF and 1 Johnson model J3 Orletto outboard motors for 1 Yamaha F25 LWHC outboard motor.
In order for the reading of these 3 resolutions, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor, I move that we accept the 3 resolutions. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Commissioners, any new business?
Mr. Director, did we vote on the waiver of the rules to do an actual vote on the?
Oh, we did not, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Apologize.
All right. Try back and read that one. Thank you, John.
Resolution authorizing a lease agreement between Salem County and Salem Community College.
You've heard the reading of that resolution. What's your pleasure?
Mr. Director, I make a motion to accept that resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, unanimous. Commissioner, old business. Hearing none, Commissioner, new business. Ed, you want to kind of fill us in on the meeting before we head here?
Yes, I will do my best there. We met with mostly all the mayors from the Salem County area, along with presiding judge Ben Kelsey, to talk about how to potentially regionalize all the municipal court systems. We have each town's a little different. Most of them are a part of a joint court with several municipalities. Some still, like Penns Grove, runs their own court still. Part of the problem is the expense of running the court is exceeding what courts now bring in income. The laws have been changed where towns don't necessarily make money off courts anymore because the legislature has deemed it inappropriate to fine people or throw them in jail because they can't pay a fine. So fines are down. COVID has literally wreaked havoc on the amount of money that courts are taking in. Most of the courts took in half of what they took in the year previous, yet their expenses remain the same. So some of them have expenses that are twice their incomes last year. I think conceptually everyone agreed in the room that we would study the issue of regionalizing the court system or how that would go about, much the way we're studying the current school system, which we're waiting on that report. And that was about the emphasis of the discussion.
So just, everything is that the commissioners will be facilitating a study that will be paid for by the state to about a consolidated court system. It will be hosted in Salem County. Of course, we're heading towards the new courthouse. We'll have the facilities that will be safe. A lot of municipalities have courtrooms or areas that need a lot of upgrade, and we'll save them that expense also. But it all starts with a study. The municipalities and the judiciary have a choice. The county commissioners really don't have a dog in the fight, other than just trying to help out, facilitate the study. And so we're going to be proceeding that way. Any other comments on that, or any other new business? Public announcements. Mickey, you got some announcements?
I do, actually. I'm quite gratified that we are seeing some, and they're not all virtual, so that's exciting. Actually, it's pretty busy, so I'm just going to highlight on the ones that are coming up soonest. Right around between now and the time of our next meeting. There's a Red Cross blood drive, and obviously, the blood supply has been hampered by the COVID pandemic, and we can circulate a list. That has a list of where they will be held in the near future. This low-tech car show, which is always an enjoyable event. Lots of pretty babies out there for everybody to overlook, especially people of coaching my age. All those cars from the 60s. Mother's Day, of course, is Sunday, May 9th. Arts in Bloom is back. It's a county-wide artist event. We have some brochures about that. And again, it's live, visit studios, and meet the artists. As the Chief Medical Officer of Cowtown Rodeo, I would be remiss in not announcing that it is opening night on May 22nd, which is after the Memorial Day Parade will be held in Pennsylvania. So we're opening up New Jersey, specifically Salem County. Everybody, welcome back. Good to see everybody able to circulate. Be safe, mask when appropriate distances, but let's start enjoying the outdoors here in our wonderful Salem County.
I do have a couple additional, for those that are online, if you have a question or you would like to make a statement, please type it in now, and then we'll have, we'll read those statements or questions. We do have an actual day of prayer on Thursday at 10 o'clock. I think it's hosted by a Zoom meeting by Rancho. I think you probably go to the Rancho website if you wanted to participate in that actual day of prayer. One of the losses we had in the community is because of COVID is having to get together for that every year. But I'm sure we'll be back strong next year. We have next Sunday, May 16th, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, between 12 and 5 o'clock in Pennsville at Riverview is the wine festival for those that want like to drink some wine. Yes.
I believe they moved that to the fall.
Oh,
Yes, you're right, we said that.
that's been moved to the fall.
I believe so.
And one of the not funny, but one of the odd things about this county, most people don't know, we do have an airport. It's called the Spitfire Airport. It has recently been purchased and is expanding. We had a study about 5 years ago. They're actually using that study to expand that airport. They're going to have groundbreaking and or ribbon cutting on hopefully May 20th with Steve Sweeney down there participating. And more information on that to follow. Our next meeting, just for your records or your calendars, is May 19th. And that'll be the last meeting we have. It's at 6 o'clock until September. The rest of the meeting will be at 4 p.m. So check the calendar for that. One thing I did not remember at the beginning is the one. Yes, it's May 5th. Yes, it's Cinco de Mayo. So congratulations to Mexico and the celebrations they're having there. Any other public comment? Public announcement. Yes.
I would, follow up on your, traffic detours. There is a tremendous amount of road paving going on this year. Most of it's thanks to the, gas tax that was put in place a few years. They literally doubled our budget for the amount of roads. In the next 5 years, you're going to see a big difference in the county. However, we have, I think, 3 roads going on at once right now. And there will be several more throughout the year, so whatever patience you can give to those working on the road would be greatly appreciated. I came out all the way down Alpine Road tonight. Half the road's beautifully paved, fortunately in the direction I was going. I'm going to find another route to go home since they shaved the road down in that lane. But it's, I think in the long run, the county's really going to look nice and clean and square with their roads in a few years, so bear with us. Thank you.
Commissioner, any other public announcements? Hearing none, public comment. Anyone in the public have a comment? Please step forward, state your name and address.
Good evening, how are you?
Patty Donker, Corners Point. Mr. Ridgway is gritting his teeth because he knows what's coming.
Need your trash picked up around the bend?
No.
Oh.
Good try there.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I want to know what determines, or who determines, getting the road work scheduled? Because in May of 2018, I was told that Carnes Point 540 should be done by the end of the year. Silly me, I thought it was going to be that year. I didn't realize I would still be waiting 3 years later. Now, I was on Willow Grove Road last week. That's beautiful. Coming into Alway, I saw the preparation for that road work. The guys were out Monday to patch in front of my house, which is already lifting, by the way, and told me that there's paving going on in Elsonborough. Now, do these little towns get the truck traffic that's going by my house, my neighborhood? Because my house is going to shake off of its foundation and float down the canal soon. So, I mean, we're talking about minor inconveniences like losing your hearing and also having to rearrange your china cabinet, but it's not safe. You have tractor trailers and ambulances going by constantly. So what's the deal? Because in looking into it, we're not even scheduled. So what's the plan here?
Which road?
540 in Carnes Point.
Commissioner, can I speak on that? Patty, I'll get back to you, probably I'll be out tomorrow, but I'll get back to you Friday morning if that's okay. And again, if you were told in 2018 it was going to be done by that year, we are still 3 years behind, and Commissioner Ramsey can attest, we're doing 2018's list right now. And I hate to say it that way because we're working on funding, the DOT funding for 2018. We're in the process of all the design work because approvals have to go to the DOT, design work, change work has to go, they have to approve. So right now we're working on 2019, 20, and 21. But I will check and get the exact date your road is going in.
Okay, well, maybe you can answer the question. How do you get scheduled? Who determines the preference of this roadway?
That's it. Sorry to cut you off, but we do have a public works meeting once a month, and then we also have little preliminary meetings out to the road department and we're in the engineering department throughout the month. But then like this year, we got 4.9 million in DOT funding for resurfacing of road projects. Then a determination is made for the 2021 project. So we've already got the list for 2018, 19, and 20 already in the works. But I'll find out where your street or your road is in that process, if that's okay.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Patty, not that it makes you feel any better, but I get, they're the same complaint all over. The government works very slow, especially when you get up to the state government and they ask for changes. They don't want it done this way, they want it done this way, and it continually changes. You have a bridge involved or a regular area with water. It's just, then there's more government agencies, more approvals. It's very frustrating that Ramsey and that whole team have a tough time. But
We just voted a 2014 file 2 months ago, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So, that's 7 years ago. And DOT can, they'll give you the money, but boy, they will beat you up on the details all along the way. And that's really what it comes down to.
Thank you.
and we'll do our best. And Jeff will come back to you.
My name is Debbie Ashford from Plattsburgh. I want to also piggyback on Mrs. Bonilla. So the same road she talked about the ambulances going down that road. Just as you go through Hawks Bridge and we're going toward the hospital, there's a bump on that bridge that I literally have to go into the other lane to avoid being really dropped around. So when you have patients in there that are having painful injuries, we have to be very careful, go very slow over that bump. I don't know what's wrong with that part of the road, but I know you said maybe a couple years down the road, maybe they could at least, flatten it out somehow. But listen, if you ever want to see how a road really works, let an ambulance run on it. Because like the road that goes to Southie, I think that's Penville Holman Road. When they did that, they made the road so that each gutter, when we hit it, it almost jumps up in the air. So patience again, feeling painful bumps. So I tried to win that road too. But that's not really why I stood up. I really wanted to ask, do we still have a shared service committee?
Yes.
We do. So I used to be on that committee years ago, and some of it had to do with the ambulances and different things. There is a group of us, ambulance companies, towns, that are not happy with what we have in our area. We would like to change something, but we need help, okay? Some people have ran some figures to make some sort of hybrid system that does not include certain other places. But, so I don't know if there's a way to reintroduce that or get some help with that. Because I can tell you that, and you know, I've been doing this a long time. And I'm running out of steam. I'm running out of people. Pennsville is a very busy town. We run 1,000 calls a year. So, and that's for less than a square mile. Okay? We're still volunteers. I'm not really against charging people money. I just need help. So I don't know how to get it, who to ask. I asked my new business manager in Pennsville, and he was going to ask the state if there was some help with that as well. I don't know, but if you do have a chance to get some of us together, we'd be very willing to talk to you.
I know that 4 or 5 years ago, you and I served on that committee, countywide EMS.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, each time it got shot down, and the second time, the money went to Woodstown American Legion.
I think Commissioner Ware and I
From Health and Wellness,
did
not you guys.
our human work trying to get that through. We're trying to cut off at the knees. I will tell you there is movement in that. We're having discussions on what's occurring now and why it's not working. And what's going to
It's
take.
not working.
We'll tell you there are current discussions in there. If it comes down to a committee, we will definitely involve you.
Yeah, because I'd rather get ahead of it than have something happen and now we're all scrambling because something failed. So, and we do have some good people out there that have good ideas from the different towns, so.
And we recognize there are some issues that we have to take care of, or somebody needs to take care of.
But we're still here, so.
Yes, you are.
Let us know if we need something. Thank you.
Debbie, you've been a real hero, Kim. Thank you. Anyone else for this year would like to have a comment? We have one online. Questions or comments?
There's one comment. Brian Berry says there is a stormwater easement on our deed by the Salem County, but has not been fixed or cleaned out in several years. Question is, when will it be serviced? At 319 and 317A Auburn Road.
Vicki, do you want to answer that?
Actually, that is a problem for the residents. We're all acutely aware of it. Right now, there was activity in that easement actually day before yesterday. There was a lot of debris. Much of it was cleaned out, thanks to Mr. Ridgway, whom I've been working with to get people out there. There are some larger pieces of debris, tree trunks that are going to need more larger equipment to work with, but it is actively being addressed as we speak.
Anyone else on the line? That's it for public session. We do have a short closed session, so we'll go to that. We don't anticipate any decisions when you come out. We will turn the website back on just for adjournment. And if you have any comments at that point,